I need to tell you something that might surprise you. Some of the most peaceful deaths I've witnessed happened in hospice, and some of the most chaotic, painful experiences. They happened when families waited too long, or didn't know what to do once hospice started. I've been a hospice nurse for years. I've walked into homes filled with fear, denial, anger, exhaustion, and I've watched those same homes transform into spaces of peace, connection, and even laughter. In the middle of goodbye. But here's the truth. Hospice is not the beginning of death. It's the beginning of preparation. And what families do in the first days makes all the difference. Today I'm going to share the 5 most important things families should do when someone enters hospice. Not from a textbook, but from real bedsides, real living rooms, and real final moments. Let's start with something most families get wrong. When hospice begins, many people think, okay, now we just wait. No, hospice is not waiting. Hospice is active comfort care. It's about symptom control, emotional support, dignity, and meaningful time. The first thing families must do is shift their mindset. You are not giving up. You are changing goals, from cure to comfort. That shift changes everything. Because when families understand that the focus is no longer on extending life at all costs, but on maximizing comfort and quality, anxiety drops, arguments stop, guilt softens. I've seen families fight against hospice for days, only to later say, we should have done this sooner. Hospice is not about speeding death. It's about reducing suffering. And once that understanding settles in, the real work begins. Now let's talk about the first critical action. 1. Have the honest conversation. Even if it's uncomfortable. I know it's hard. But silence creates more fear than truth ever will. When someone enters hospice, families often tiptoe around reality. They avoid words like dying. They pretend nothing is changing. But patients often know. And when no one talks about it, they feel alone. I've sat with patients who whispered to me, I wish my family would just talk about what's happening. So here's what I recommend. Ask open questions. Is there anything you're worried about? Is there anything you still want to say? What would make you most comfortable right now? You don't need perfect words. You just need presence. Some of the most healing moments I've seen happened when families finally said, we're going to walk through this together. That honesty removes isolation. 2. Get clear on comfort medications immediately. This is where panic often happens. Hospice provides medications for pain, shortness of breath, anxiety, nausea, and agitation. But families sometimes hesitate to use them. They worry, will morphine speed things up? Will this make them unconscious? Are we doing something wrong? Let me be very clear. When used correctly, hospice medications relieve suffering. They do not hasten death. Pain and air hunger are traumatic if untreated. I've seen families wait too long to give medication because they were afraid, and I've seen the regret on their faces afterward. Ask your nurse, when should I give this? What signs should I look for? What is normal? What is not? Understanding the comfort kit early prevents midnight panic later. And trust me, there will be emotional moments. Prepared families feel empowered. Unprepared families feel overwhelmed. Education reduces fear, and hospice nurses want you to ask questions. We would rather explain something 10 times than have you lie awake scared. Now let's talk about something even more important than medication. 3. Create the environment you want. The final days to feel like. Most people don't realize this. The atmosphere in the room matters deeply. I've walked into rooms with harsh lighting, loud televisions, tension between siblings, and I've seen how that energy affects the patient. Then I've walked into homes with soft music, dim lights, gentle voices, hands being held, and the difference is profound. When someone enters hospice, ask yourself, what kind of space do we want this to be? Peaceful, quiet, filled with prayer, soft worship music, family storytelling? You have more control than you think. Turn off constant news. Lower harsh lights. Play their favorite songs. Bring familiar blankets. Let grandchildren draw pictures. I once cared for a man who loved jazz. His family played soft jazz every evening. His breathing would slow. His face would relax. The body responds to safety. And emotional safety can reduce agitation, anxiety, even physical discomfort. Also, manage visitors wisely. Not everyone needs to come at once. Too many visitors can exhaust someone quickly. Short, meaningful visits are better than tour.